got my list.
It is time for 5 fast questions. Frank has the questions. I have the answers. Fire away, sir.
All right. What's the best flavor of ice cream?
Chocolate peanut butter.
Number 2. What is the most boring book of all time?
Oh, God. The Gunslinger from the Dark Tower series. Holy crap, that thing's boring.
All right. Number 3. What's the funniest comedy skit of all time?
I don't know if about all time, but the first thing that's popping into my head is that Beavis and Butthead skit from Saturday Night Live.
All right. Number 4. What country would be the most interesting to travel to?
China, maybe?
Number 5. What would be the worst job to have?
Producer of the Buzz Adams Morning Show. I'm kidding.
It's a shot.
I'm totally kidding. I actually do have an answer to that question, but it's going to be coming up here when we discuss these. There's a better answer than that.
Better. Oh, the camera follows
It's starting to move me. It's starting to follow me again. God damn it.
The AI.
Did that kick on its own? Son of a bitch. I didn't try to do that. I didn't turn that on. Hold on a second. Let me turn that off. That's what I was telling you.
Skynet, man.
I wonder what. Oh, I wonder. Oh, shit. I know exactly why it did that. Because there's hand motions that turn that shit on, and when I held my hand up for 5 fast questions, it registered that as the cue to turn on the AI.
You know it works.
And no shit. All right, what were the 5 fast questions there, Frank? Let's get
Number
through this
1
stuff.
was flavor of ice cream.
Favorite flavor of ice cream. I would probably have to go with it is chocolate peanut butter, hands down. What about you?
Man, I don't know. I'm like a cravings guy, so it depends. But I always coffee ice cream always kind of hit my taste buds right.
Nothing wrong with that. And if anybody's in the YouTube chat, or if anybody's watching this on a replay, which by the way, make sure you like and subscribe. Comment below with what you think what the best flavor of ice cream is. All right, what was your next question?
It was most boring book of all time.
Oh my God, I tried to get through The Gunslinger. So there's a store that's right down the street that's called The Bookmark, and they kind of work with, you can go donate books there, and you get books for super cheap. They work with the local libraries and stuff like that, so it's a great place to go to just purchase books. And they had that there, and I was like, I'd really like to get into this. Holy fuck, that thing is boring. Oh my God. I mean, it got to the point where I was legitimately... Like, I brought it up to Buzz on the air because I think he had read it. And he's like, yeah, don't. He's like, you can quit. He's like, it's really not that good. What about you? Is there a book that you started that you're like, oh my God?
Any book that the teachers would require you to read during the summer.
Yeah.
I just couldn't do it.
I never actually read any books
given to me.
in school. I think we covered that last week. All right, what was the next 5 fast questions?
Funniest comedy skit of all time. And you said the Beavis and Butthead.
I mean, and that might just be recency bias because
if I was going to go with skit, it would be the Who's on First, because that's like the most legendary, funniest skit with Abbott and Costello.
I think, yeah. I mean, it's if you're saying legendary, yes, but we're saying funniest,
right? Mine would be when Kramer from Seinfeld, the ending scene where Costanza's talking about having to go into the ocean and get the golf ball.
And he goes, was that a titleist?
And he pulls the golf ball out.
Hold on, but does that count as a skit? Because that's just
it's
part
kind
of the show.
A skit. I don't know. It's a skit to me.
Because I assume that skit would mean something on Saturday Night Live or Mad TV or Chappelle's show. Oh my God, I completely skipped over.
Yeah, Chappelle shit ton of
I just watched. It was the first ever skit that he showed, and it was that spoof of the Mitsubishi Eclipse commercial, where he's like, all that crazy dancing making my penis soft. And then he gets one where he's playing another song, and this other girl's like booty dancing, and her boob pops out, and he goes, look at a titty pop out. Look at my face when a titty pops out. But yeah, I mean, it's here's the thing. I wonder how many people know that Saturday Night Live has
been around for
gone
50
through
years now.
Well, it's gone through ups and downs, and we're in a really, really good stretch of Saturday Night Live. Like for the past at least 10 years. I mean, Colin Jost and Michael Che, hands down, are my favorite Weekend Update. Like, they're fantastic. And that's saying a lot because there's been some really good ones. But the overall writing of the show and everything else is just, it's been on point for 10 plus years now.
I think Saturday Night Live is just that it's, it hits that certain age group, high school to 20 somethings. And luckily for us, the 90s and like early 2000s was probably one of the greatest times for Saturday Night Live. Just the amount of talent and writing they had. So it's hard to live up to that because I find myself all the time thinking, like, when I'm watching some of them going, well, this doesn't live up to how it was. I'm like the old boomer guy.
I'm the opposite. Like, because there was also a thing where truly, like, you would age out of Saturday Night Live, not just the audience, but the actual cast members. And when you got to a certain age, you were gone. But guys like Kenan Thompson, and
he's been there
even
for
with
15 years,
and even with Colin Jost and Michael Che, it's the actual cast is significantly older than it ever usually was on Saturday Night Live because they wanted the younger cast because they wanted to cater to that younger audience. And now it's to the point where it's just funny. I mean, I would think back to Kate McKinnon with the ones where she was abducted by an alien. Holy shit.
Slapping my bags around.
Oh my God. It's like hitting my knockers. And she's like, this one seemed like it was off book because there was one in the door just kind of doing that. Like, dude, every time. I think that actually, I take it back. That one might be even funnier than.
See, I watch for certain guests because I used to love it when people would break. And I know Lorne Michaels is notorious for hating people that break on his show. But I always found it fantastic when you'd have a cast member or a guest host that is just cracking and breaking in the middle. Unless it was Jimmy Fallon, because he laughed in every.
I was just about to say, because that was his whole shtick, was fucking laughing. Good God. But yeah, there was. What's her face? Oh my God, I can't believe I'm blanking. She was the one that was hosting the fake show in the Beavis and Butthead skit.
Yeah.
Her name. She was also. She's also in Shrinked. Heidi Gardner. She was upset that she broke during that skit. Like, she was legitimately upset just because according for her, it's her job not to break.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right, next question. We got two more here. What was the next one?
No, what country would be most interesting to travel to? You said China.
I would like
the land of China.
I would like China just because I read a lot of books on Taoism and stuff like that. And I think it would be really cool to kind of go over there and check all that stuff out. But there's a lot of countries that I think would be fascinating to visit. I think it would be amazing to go to Japan, South Korea. Now, if I really want to talk about like where I'm from, I would like Norway or Scotland would probably top that list. What about you, Frank? One country.
Greece.
You want to go to Greece?
I want to check out Greece. Yeah, the women are fantastic. The food is great. The views are awesome. I mean, why not? Just gotta worry about earthquakes and minotaurs. That's about it.
And those weird spider webs, man. You ever see that shit over there?
Yeah.
God. All right, and last question was what?
The worst job to have.
Oh, I said the producer of the Buzz Adams Morning Show. That's a complete joke, actually. I had a blast producing the morning show. Because I still get asked about it, actually, quite frequently. And because the way that I left the show was kind of unceremonious. I was there for about 6 years. It just so happened that I hosted the show one day, then they pulled me into an office afterwards, and they said they were letting me go. And I was like, all right, cool. We shook hands and walked away. And I mean, I had dinner with my old boss just a couple of weeks ago. So I think people still ask me if I'm upset about it and stuff. I'm not. I wish them nothing but the best. I had a blast doing that morning show. Obviously there was ups and downs. Obviously there was fights, but nah, man, I wouldn't trade those years for anything. But in regards to the actual worst job, I can only relate this to the jobs that I have had. And there was one that I did that it was in a plastics factory. And we made like frisbees and cups, and truly the whole job is a 12-hour shift. And the whole job was just taking all of the plastic stuff that came out of the machine, stacking it up, and putting it in a box. That was your entire shift, man. Oh. I was there during the Super Bowl when the Ravens played the Giants. God.
Sick it.
What would you think is the worst job? Or what? Let's just this. What's the worst job you've ever had?
I mean, I haven't really had any bad jobs that were. I mean, I've had ones that I just didn't care to be there anymore because it was like when I worked at Lowe's, the people around me were lazy and I was doing all the work, and I was like, well, I'm tapping out. This is stupid.
Yeah.
I haven't
Working
had
in
any,
lumber
like,
yards.
yeah, I haven't had any dirty. My like worst job would be the people that pull the coffee beans out of the animal poop.
Ugh. Yeah, that I can't imagine that.
I don't want to. I wouldn't want to do that. No matter how much money you'd make.